dimensions of experience quality. One is perceived value and the other is satisfaction. And the behavioral intention is resulted from these two dimensions. And the perceived value has the influence upon satisfaction. And the last part is about the methodology. I will introduce the conceptual framework, data collection, instrument, and data analysis. And here's the conceptual framework of my thesis. As you can see, there are three key factors in the research, which are provision of information, customers' perception, and customers' satisfaction. And I will explain each factor step by step and explain their functions. And let's start from provision of information. In this framework, the provision of information does not only present the information about the lodgings. It has a wider range of meanings about the external information of the lodgings. For example, the facilities, environment, transportation, or some local food to the travelers. So in this framework, the provision of information system has an influence upon customers' satisfaction. And now let's move to customers' perception. Customers' perception is hard to evaluate objectively. For example, customers may have their basic ideas about the lodgings, and they have the fixed ideas. They may like or dislike the lodgings. So, in this framework, customers' perception may have influenced by provision of information. Due to provision of information has influence upon customers' perception. And finally, customers' satisfaction. After customers has actually experienced the lodgings, they may feel satisfied or dissatisfied. Then we assume that customers' satisfaction will be influenced by customers' perception. Then we assume that customers' satisfaction may be an alternative channel to acquiring the information. And for data collection, the participants will be the customers who stay at hotels and B&Bs in Nantou. And about 500 copies of questionnaires were distributed to the participants. And it will take about 5 to 10 minutes to complete the questionnaire. And the duration of the survey will last about 2 months. And the measurement is the 5-point Likert scale. And the instrument, there are 5 categories in the questionnaire. Part 1 is consumer information, Part 2, provision of information, Part 3, perception, Part 4, satisfaction. And the final part is about the personal information. And the categories are adopted by Lin's research in 2004. And here are the samples of the questionnaire. Part 1 is the consumer information. For example, they will be asked, is this your first time to visit this lodging? Or how many people go with you? And they will check in the blank. And the second part is about the provision of information. And they have to check from strongly agree or to strongly disagree. And for example, they will be asked that, are you satisfied with the provision of information from this lodging? Or did the provider, means the managers in the lodges or hotel, provide the landmarks or some information to you? And the third part is about the perception. For example, I think the price of the hotel is okay. Or second, I think I'm satisfied with the experience of living in these lodges. And the fourth part is about the satisfaction. For example, I'm satisfied with the provider's service, or I think they provide well information for me to visit. And the final part is about the demographic data, and it includes age, gender, occupation, and marriage status. And the final part is about the income. And there are 4 data analyses in in my study. And first is a factor analysis, and it's used to examine the relationships among the factors. And second is test-Meyer-Oakley, and it used to examine the appropriateness of the factor analysis. And third is the correlation coefficient, and it's used to examine the interactions among the factors. And the final part is the Cronbach's alpha, and it used to test the reliability of the collected data. And that's all my presentation. Thanks for listening.